Dave Meltzer, who is pretty notorious for being the guy that came up with the 5-star rating. He's a wrestling historian. He's been around forever. He's got a pretty good podcast, and he's got a good grip on, I'd say, pro wrestling in general. He had an interview with Chris Van Vliet. He interviews like pretty big wrestlers, I have to say.
Okay.
So this guy interviewed Dave Meltzer and really kind of pressed him on some of his ratings. So, for example, Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker was not a 5-star match. And he'd be like, how is that not a 5-star match? Like, that was Mania. This is like supposed to be one of the greatest matches of all time. And then like anything that happens in Japan, like he gives a 5-star match to.
Sure.
So, a lot of people on the internet are saying, I don't care about Dave Meltzer ratings, or you shouldn't care, or why do people give him clout? And it's like, calm down. He just makes an opinion. He gives a 5-star rating. He likes Japanese matches more. You don't have to like it. It's his opinion. It's a very subjective art form that he does. So,
isn't it more important that he's consistent?
Yeah.
Than, everybody's favorite match can't be 5 stars.
Right. There was a match in WCW, and I think it was Cactus Jack versus Vader, and that was like 5 stars for me. That match was awesome.
Okay.
And it was Halloween Havoc. It must have been Cactus Jack or some style of Mick Foley. I forget which one. Maybe Cactus.
I believe it was just Cactus Jack back then. He didn't do the multiple personalities until the WWE role.
Yeah, and it was a totally great match. And I was like, oh, this is 5 stars. But it's a 5 stars for me because I loved it.
Sure.
Everybody else has their own, grading system. So, internet nerds, chill out. Leave Dave Meltzer alone.
What's been your favorite match, John, that we've seen so far in the Don't Bury the Lead era, which dates back to the last Friday of September 2022?
Oh, easy. Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn.
Okay.
Easy. That's fine.
At Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, absolutely.
I enjoyed that match too. My favorite so far was Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania.
Yeah. No, that's a good one too. Yeah, that was a great match. We don't do star ratings. We just say, oh, it's a really good match or it's not. We're not.
We talk about whether it's engaging, whether the storyline makes sense, whether the action in the ring is logical. It's more for us about the experience rather than the label at the end.
Yes. I mean, it's a lot for me. Everyone has different grading systems and criteria, and I think one thing that really resonates for me in the criteria is how's the crowd? Because if the crowd's, I know one thing, and I was just praising Dave Meltzer, but he gave a 5-star match during the pandemic when there was no fans. And I said, heavens to Betsy, there's no way that you can give a 5-star match when there's no fans. It's ridiculous. But
okay. Okay, so these are TV shows, but they're also live arena shows, and the idea is to, engage with an audience. So for you, it takes something away from it when the audience isn't there.
It was always my goal as an indie wrestler to get the entire building into it. So, sure. Some people go out there, they do their stuff, and then they go home. But for me, it was just, you got to connect with everybody in that building and make that connection and get them to hate me.
What would you have been like if you had to wrestle in sort of an empty arena with just cardboard cutouts?
Oh my God, it would be horrible.
Right?
It takes the whole thing away. It takes the whole thing away.